Welcome to Books and Crannies.
Or welcome back.
Thank you.
I'm Danielle.
I am Sarah.
And it's time for a personal recheck-in, friendos.
Yeah, freaking is.
Another week has gone by.
Sure has.
Full of reading.
They just keep flying by.
I know. And it's middle of October.
I know.
What the heck?
Ugh.
Ooh, brother. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we have 5 reviews today.
Wow.
That's a lot of reviews.
Yeah, it is.
And a number of current reads.
Yeah.
So, you have to start. You have one more than I do.
All right. Well,
Tell
guess
me.
we'll just jump right in.
Tell me.
So, remember last week how I told you I was reading Allie Hazelwood book?
Yeah.
Well,
The little 4-hour audiobook.
yeah. And I learned that it's like a series of novellas.
Got it. Like the book itself is? There's multiple novellas?
No,
in it?
there's like a small little group
Chain
of
them.
novellas. Yeah.
Okay. Great. What was it called?
Below Zero.
Okay. What is it?
Well, it's a romance.
Okay.
It's typical Allie Hazelwood, so like a STEM romance. So
Okay.
nerds
Nerds.
falling in love.
Great. What did you rate it?
I gave it 2 stars.
Oh,
And listen.
no. I'm listening.
I don't have a lot to say about this book because it was just very fast.
Yeah.
And if I had known that it was like part of a something, I probably wouldn't have read it, honestly.
Okay.
I was just like looking for something easy and quick, and that was the first thing I saw. So
Okay. Well, tell me your things
So
that you do have.
it was really bad. I think I am not a fan of Allie Hazelwood
Okay.
at this point. This is only the second book, though, so like
Yeah.
maybe I should read another full length.
That isn't a novella.
Yeah, before
situation.
I say that.
Okay.
So it was like kind of cute for most of it.
Yeah.
And then I got to like the last 10% and was about to DNF it because I was like, I cannot handle this right now. And then it ended because it was a short book. So
Well, at least there's that.
I put in my notes, I wanted to DNF it, but it ended before I had the chance. Like,
At least it's
So-
fast.
yeah, it was cute. Like most of the book, I was like, oh, cuties. But it was like insta love, which I'm not a huge fan of.
No.
Between 2 nerds.
Nerd.
One of them is like, I mean, they're both obsessed with Mars
Okay.
and like studying Mars and space and
Got it.
relatable. I like space.
I also like Mars.
But then, you know, things happened and all is said and done, and at the end they're like banging, and he's literally out loud comparing her boobies to the mountains on Mars. And that's when I was like, I can't fucking do this. This is
Oh, no.
too nerdy for me. And then it ended.
Well,
So,
all right. So your ending was Mars boobies.
yeah,
Mars mountain boobies.
that really, really ruined it for me. I was like, too far. Way too far, dude.
Bringing your research into the bedroom.
Also, like, rude. Why are you comparing my boobs to deserty mountains?
Are they not inhabitable?
Yeah, and that's really it. That's all I had to say. I kind of like her writing. It's like quirky and fun.
Yeah.
And the like dialogue between characters is bantery and I like it.
Okay.
But outside of that, like the romance is just icky.
Not
It's
it.
too cute and sweet and gag worthy.
Okay.
And Mars boobs.
And Mars boobs. Well,
So I told you I didn't have a lot to say.
yeah. I mean, that's plenty.
That's all.
I think for a 4-hour audiobook. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Sounds really exciting.
It
And like I
was
should read
was
every single one of them.
really great.
Okay.
Well, what did your first review this week, Danielle?
Well, Sarah, guess what?
What?
I finally finished Quicksilver by Callie Hart.
Hell yeah, dude.
It was whoa. It was 256 pages.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
I read a
impressed.
lot. I hunkered down.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm determined to finish this mofo. And I did.
Oh yeah. Well, what did you rate it?
Well, I gave
First, tell me what it's about.
Yeah. So Quicksilver is Fae. There's multiple realms, Fae being one of them. There's humans in their own realm.
Mhm.
There's this weird substance, Quicksilver, that allows you to travel between realms.
Okay.
And this supposedly human woman gets pulled into the Fae realm. She's an alchemist who can work the Quicksilver. And it's the journey of her, like, discovering how to harness it and bring the possibility of realm travel back.
Okay.
While also dealing with a Fae war in the place that she's at. Yeah. I don't want to
Sounds
say
really
much
interesting.
else because, well, I don't want to give anything away.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
what'd you rate it?
I gave it a 4-star.
Hell yeah.
I went back and forth between like 4.5 and 4.
Okay.
And landed on 4. And you want to know why?
I do. Tell me about it, please.
Do you want my good or my bad first?
Give me the bad first.
Okay. I really liked the overall concept of this book because
Mhm.
I did feel like a large part of it was super unique.
Mm-hmm.
And there was some very familiar parts of it that I felt like were very inspired by other books.
Okay.
More namely, Akatar and Rhys and Feyre.
Okay.
That energy, I'm like, I don't know, be original. Like, there was
Yeah.
parts of it that I was like, guys, like, this is almost the same kind of vibe.
Okay.
Do you want me to tell you what those things are?
Sure.
So, like, fated mates,
Okay.
mate tattoos,
Okay.
talking to each other mind to mind.
Okay.
All of that was included between
Yeah.
the two main characters.
Yeah.
And I'm not necessarily upset about that because, like, come on, it's fun.
Yeah.
Fated mate vibes.
And I feel like you see that a lot in any story about fae romance.
Yeah, that's fair.
But all of it together is like, okay.
Like all of the things.
Yeah.
Like not one or the other, but it was just a bunch of it.
Yeah.
And it felt very much like, I don't know, just twisting the story of Rhys and Feyre
Yeah.
into a new book.
That's fair.
So I didn't love that entirely. Other than that, as far as bad is concerned, I wasn't completely invested until like halfway through the book.
Okay.
And I don't know if that's because I could only read it in bits and pieces, so I didn't have the opportunity to like sit down and really get into it.
Mm-hmm.
Or that it just was slow paced and like kind of nothing until halfway through the book. And
Yeah.
then a bunch of crap started happening.
Okay.
So that's why I dropped it a star.
Makes sense.
But for those 4 other stars,
Yeah, tell me about it. I know
Yeah.
I need the good now.
well, it's romantasy. So I feel like
Come on.
I love that.
That's automatically like at least 2 stars.
I know. We've got Shadow Daddy. We got Fae. We got vampires.
Oh.
There's war, gods, fates. Like, it's all very cool.
Yeah.
I like the concepts around this. I really loved the writing.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like it was super comical and full. Like, there wasn't anything missing. She was pretty detailed and thorough in her description of her story.
Mm-hmm.
And it was witty. I really loved the banter. I also loved the female main character and the way that she spoke. It was very relatable. Like, she's like a no-nonsense, sassy woman.
Okay.
And I love that for her.
Hell yeah.
Yes. I obviously love a Shadow Daddy. Come on.
Yeah.
And the fated mate vibe, even though I just said it was annoying. And both of the main male and female characters were really solid. I felt like she built them out really well.
Okay.
And the female main character is a baddie. Shadow Daddy is brooding, has secrets. Come on.
Come on.
I really also, though, love 2 especially of the side characters that were built super well. There's one that is the female main character's, like, acquaintance / they had a one-night stand in the human realm.
Okay.
And he's just, like, hilarious. I feel like he's giving just the most sassy best friend who also, they kind of hate each other but love each other. Like, almost like a weird sibling relationship.
Okay.
And he's just so funny and fun.
Yeah.
And then the other one is the main male character's best friend. And he's just so lovely and wholesome.
Oh.
I was like, I love that she created such great characters as secondary.
Yeah.
They really helped move the plot and build the characters in general.
Mm-hmm.
So I love them. There was a cliffhanger at the end.
Obviously, you have to
Love
have that.
Come on. And plot twists left and right. But it wasn't like overdone.
Yeah.
And I do think generally it was a fun, different take on both Fae and vampires. I was not expecting vampires to be included.
Yeah.
So that was interesting and exciting. And the mystery behind the Quicksilver come the end was super fascinating.
Okay.
I don't want to tell you much about
Yeah,
it.
no, you can't spoil it for me.
No, but it was really cool.
Sick.
And I was like, what? That's not what I was expecting at all. And I really liked that.
Hell yeah.
So, I feel like generally I really enjoyed the book. Mostly the second half of it, obviously.
Yeah.
But, like, she did a really good job wrapping it up, and I appreciate that. So it was fun. You should
Hell
definitely
yeah.
read it. But what's your next review?
Well, I'm
Well.
excited for this one.
Okay.
I listened to all of Beyond the Wand by Tom Felton.
Yes.
It's a memoir of his life.
Yeah.
Mostly his time
As Malfoy.
as Draco Malfoy.
Yeah.
So,
That's fun. I want to read it. What'd you rate it?
what did I read it? I gave it 4 stars.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Especially for memoir vibes.
Yeah, because it was a memoir is the only reason it didn't get 5 stars, honestly. Like, I don't really have anything bad to say about it.
Yeah.
It just is a memoir.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's fine.
Not my preferred genre.
Yeah. First of all, I love that this was narrated by him.
That's great.
His voice, his vibe, all of it. I'm in love.
Was he giving Draco Malfoy the whole time?
No,
Or, like,
I just love him.
Tom Felton. Okay.
I have loved him since he was Draco.
Yeah.
I'm like obsessed with him.
Oh my god. I didn't know this deep-seated obsession existed.
You know I have a thing for villains. Come on.
That's true. I mean, I
Like
get
a
it.
bad boy.
Okay.
But no, I feel like him narrating like really brought the story to life better than anyone else could have. Obviously, it's his
Yeah.
own story, but I just loved it. And there were like little innuendos and little hints at like Harry Potter things that you wouldn't know if you didn't read the books or see the movies. And
Cute.
I just loved it. It
Little,
was
like-
so cute and wholesome and good.
That's fun. Easter eggs of you got to be a true HP fan.
Yeah.
Got it.
I loved hearing his perspective of filming the movies, and
Yeah.
you got some of the like after effects of it too.
Mm-hmm.
And it's wild to hear that like he felt like he wasn't even famous. People would see him and think he was someone else and be like, "Oh my god, can I have your picture?" And he'd be like, "Yeah, of course. Which one's your favorite?" And people would like, season whatever."
Oh no.
And like think he's someone else. Someone thought he was the friggin' Jesse Pinkman from Breaking Bad.
What?
I know. I'm like, you don't even. I don't see it.
No. No, not at all. That's bizarre.
And that's so wild to me because Harry Potter is such a like
staple. It's a
ingrained
big
thing
name.
in my brain
Yeah,
that
for
like
sure.
I can't even imagine that.
I know.
The book got way more intense than I expected it to.
Okay.
So the first probably 70% was all about like there was a little bit of before and like a role that he had before he filmed these movies.
Yeah.
And then the other first 60% was all about the Harry Potter and like his experience on the set and with the people and whatever. And then you got into a little bit of the after and like the effects that it had on him. And I had no idea that he like had to go to rehab and
Oh, geez.
was an alcoholic and
Dang.
dealt with all of this real shit, you know?
Yeah, I feel like that's such a happens often to
Yeah,
the
it's
child
very
stars.
common for sure.
Yes, that's an easy word.
Yeah.
I
Trying to be too smart about it.
guess.
Danielle.
Or just couldn't find a word.
Yeah, it's very common for sure. But I feel like I don't know, it just felt different. It wasn't like what I expect to hear from a typical child celebrity. It just felt different. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, he got super raw about his life and his struggles, and it like made me love him even more.
Okay.
The book made me laugh. It made me cry, and that's good.
Yeah.
If a book can make me cry, especially a memoir, like I didn't expect that at all.
That's fair.
I also listened to this very shortly after Dame Maggie Smith passed away.
Yeah.
And he talked a lot about her in the book, and that was like, aw.
Yeah.
That part isn't the part that made me cry, but and he talked a lot about his relationship with Emma Watson, Hermione Granger.
Yeah.
And I loved hearing about that, and I want them to fall in love and be together forever. They have the sweetest friendship ever, and like she had a crush on him,
Yeah.
and they talk about it now, and it's just cute and wholesome, and oh my god, I love their friendship so much.
I love
they
that.
like are so sweet. I can't handle it.
Well, dang.
I love everyone and everything about this book. Maybe I should give it 5 stars. Oh my
Oh
god.
my god, you are really raving about it.
Yeah, but
Okay.
anyways, anyone
cool.
who is a fan of Harry Potter,
Read it.
especially the movies, you should listen to this book.
Okay.
Listen to it.
Yeah, because of the narration.
Yeah.
Well, cool. I'll read it sometime soon.
I guess probably the reason I didn't give it 5 stars is because he's not a writer.
Yeah.
And despite that, it was written really well, at least from what I can tell from an audiobook.
Yeah, that's
You
fair.
know?
Well, cool. I'm glad you liked it.
Yeah, you should really listen to it. It's really cute.
I plan to. One of these days. Well, you know what, Sarah?
Yeah.
In that same vein, I finished listening to Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone
Oh my
by
god.
J.K. Rowling.
Yeah, tell me about it. What's it about?
Do
I
you
don't
not know? Wizarding World, y'all.
Obviously.
Harry Potter is the chosen one. Oh,
Yeah.
spoilers. Harry. You know what it is. Come on. If you don't, where have you been living? I want to preface this by saying that with Harry Potter, it is so nostalgic and close to my heart. Like, I grew up with it. I love it so much. Mm-hmm. And I very much have to separate art from artist in this case. And I'm incredibly biased in my review because I have such a soft spot for it. I haven't grown up with it.
Same. So literally every Harry Potter book to me is 5 stars.
I know.
So.
Yeah. Because I gave it 5 stars. And the Sorcerer's Stone is the first, so it's the like youngest, you know what I mean, in the way that it's written, and also the series of events.
Yeah.
And it was still written so well.
Yeah.
And I'm like mad that J.K. Rowling is who she is. Because I'm like, bitch, come on.
Get it together.
God.
Be a nice person.
Seriously.
God.
But the book is superior to the movie. I think it was just so more full-bodied. Like, there's a lot more events and details. I think you can expect that generally. Yeah. And I do love the movies. I just watched them, so it's not like I hate them. But, man, I forgot things. Like, there's parts in the book that I was like, what? I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Namely, first being the ghosts.
Yes.
Where's Peeves?
I know there's no Peeves in the movies. And he's like one of my favorite characters.
I know. That and like Black Baron.
Yes.
There's a teacher that's a ghost that's never featured in the movies.
Yeah.
Like, give me more of that in the movies. But they're so fun. I love the description of them.
Yes.
I listened to it and the narration was pretty good. It was just one guy and he did a really, really good job. He impressed me in the switching back and forth between characters.
Yeah.
And it was like kind of hard at first to remove myself from the voices I have in my mind from the movies. But he did justice to them in their own way. And like the girl voices were kind of silly, but I think that's just a man doing a girl voice, especially a young girl. But I was impressed how he was able to go back and forth so easily and give them each their own vibe. I feel like that's hard as heck to do.
For sure.
And back to the writing piece, I just read Percy Jackson, The Lightning Thief, and I think comparatively, while they're both geared towards a middle schooler, this one is so much more easy to digest as an adult. Like, it felt far less adolescent and far less, I don't know, young.
Less childish.
Yeah. It also just gave me warm fuzzies the entire time I was listening. And the world building is just so good in these books. Good. And it's not, she doesn't freaking hold back at all, even in the first book. Yeah. Like, I know that mainly we're focused on Hogwarts and stuff, but you get glimpses of like Diagon Alley and also building out the wizarding world comparatively to Muggles. Like, you get that juxtaposition and it's just done really well. And so fantastical and just, it's lovely. Ugh. I don't have much else to say about it. I feel like it was an obvious 5-star. I'm really glad I listened to it this time. I've read them multiple times. But it was a fun, different way to experience the book. So
yeah,
if you've never read Harry Potter, then you should.
You absolutely have to.
I love that for you.
Yes.
To have read them for the
first time. Oh
my God,
I wish I could read those books for the first time again.
I know.
Over and over again.
It was fun.
Ugh.
And I love the characters. And they're like slightly different in the book versus movie too. Yeah. And that's fun to see. Yeah. Like her vision of them and how they were portrayed in the movie. So I think it's cool that I just watched all the movies. So now I can like compare them a little more clearly in my brain because I have the memory of a goldfish. So
same.
Yeah, but it was good.
Well, while we're talking about this, I want to say, because I have to correct myself yet again.
Oh, no.
Last week we talked about the audiobooks, and I was like, they have full cast audiobooks.
Yeah.
They don't.
Not yet. Rude.
When I was looking it up, I like didn't read enough, and they had just announced sometime that they're making full cast audiobooks, but they are not out yet. Okay. And I don't think they will be for another year or so.
Well, damn. So. I guess I'm going to have to re-listen to them next year.
I know. Oh, darn.
Shoot.
So anyone who went looking, sorry
about it.
My bad.
I can't say that the ones that are out now are good. Like the narrator did a good job, so
for sure.
At least there's that. It wasn't like trash. And I'm like, it damn well better be with how freaking popular these books are.
For real though.
But anyway, Sarah, what's your third review?
Well, Danielle, I should have talked about this one before I talked about Beyond the Wand because it's been in progress for a while.
Oh my goodness.
But I finally finished.
What'd you finish?
The Game's God's Play.
Heck yeah!
By Abigail Owen.
Yeah, you did.
I read a whole 145 pages to
yeah.
wrap it up. It's Greek mythology fantasy about a girl who gets entered into this crucible that happens every century. Each god, like, picks a subject to enter into these games. And then whichever mortal wins the games, the god who picked them becomes the king of gods until the next crucible.
Okay. I like the sounds of it.
Yeah.
What did you rate it?
I gave it 4 stars.
That's pretty good.
I know. I was
me.
on the edge of 4 or 5, and I couldn't decide.
Me
but
with Quicksilver. We're both.
I had a couple things that I was like, so.
Okay.
Do you want the good or the bad first?
Give me the bad.
There was constant action in this book, like from front to back. Constant. And it just felt like a little too much at times.
That's fair.
Where it took me out of it a little bit, because you're getting all of these games in the Crucible every so often. But even in between the games, there's so much happening and like horrible things happening to the main character.
Yeah.
That it's like, okay, this is unrealistic. Like there's literally always something going wrong for her.
Yeah.
It's too much.
That's fair. Like that's exhausting when it's the entire book.
Yeah, it was a little bit, but I also really enjoyed it, obviously. The other bad thing, I wish they would have, or she would have taken some of that extra in between shit and put a little more detail into the actual games, because the games would be like 2 or 3 chapters and then it's over.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of shit in between, and then another game that's 2 or 3 chapters. And I just would have liked a little more detail into the action of the games.
That makes sense. I mean,
so
it's in the title.
Yeah.
Give me more game.
Yeah. Okay. And there was a lot. Each god who like enters a participant also creates their own game. So there's a lot of games because there's a lot of gods. And so yeah. And at the beginning, each god can give their participant like I think 2 things that will help them throughout all of the games.
Gotcha.
And so they can like gear whatever they give them towards the game that they've made to help them get through their section or whatever.
Gotcha.
And that's about it for the bad.
Okay.
That's why I took a star away.
That's not bad though. Well, what's all the good, Sarah?
The good. I loved this friggin' book. It was so fun. I love the friggin' concept of it. It captivated me from the very beginning and just drew me in, and I had a hard time putting it down every time I was reading. While the constant action was a little overwhelming at times, it also was very engaging. And like I said, I wish there was more of the games, because that was my favorite part.
Yeah.
Because it was so like grand and over the top.
Yeah.
In a good way. Yeah. Because it's gods.
Right.
You know, they're like making these challenges for people, and there's monsters and crazy things happening in every single one.
That sounds fun. I want to see the movie.
What?
I want to see a movie about it.
I know. It would be a good movie. And I compared it, when I first started talking about this book, I compared it to Hunger Games, but it's kind of different because they don't have to die. It's encouraged to kill the other participants, but you don't have to. It's not like a last man standing wins. It's whoever wins the most games wins.
Yeah.
So if someone's won 3 games and you've only won 1, if you kill them, then you're kind of getting an advantage, you know? The book left us on a cliffhanger. So there's gonna be more, and that's super fucking exciting. And the cliffhanger actually caught me off guard. I was like, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
Plot twist. Holy crap.
Gosh.
Holy crap.
Holy crap.
I loved the end of the book. And there's a lot of people who disagree and were like, the ending was so stupid. Oh my God. I loved it. So.
So suck it.
So you're wrong. The main male character was actual perfection. He was written so well and so just full. Like, he was a full-bodied character.
Yeah.
It's Hades, so he's the god of death.
Love that.
And so you expect him to be, like, brooding and evil and mean, and he is, except to the main female character.
Yeah.
And he's, like, so sweet to her and caring, and she has this... Okay. More. She has a curse on her that Zeus... Hades' brother put on her when she was a baby.
Rude.
That no one will ever pick her. Like, no one can love her. No one can... Whatever. She can't be picked.
Got it.
But Hades is apparently immune to this curse because... He's sweet, and he picked her, and he loves her, and oh my God.
Cute.
And I just love the way that he cares for her and takes care of her, and like, he recognizes that he's the one that put her in this situation, and he has his reasons, but he needs her.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Well, cool.
So he treats her sweet because he put her in a shitty situation.
Hell yeah, Hades.
I'm going to end on my last bad thing I had to say.
Okay.
I don't love the main female character all the time. She's kind of whiny and mopey and like, oh, poor me.
Okay.
And
you do tend to dislike that.
I do. I don't mope. Get over it. Move the fuck on. Life sucks. Yeah.
And then you die.
But anyways, outside of all of that, I really, really enjoyed the book.
Also,
And I cannot wait for the sequel, and I hope it doesn't disappoint.
yeah, that is.
And I hope it doesn't take 4,000 years to come out.
4,000.
So,
All right. Well, hopefully it's good. I
Yeah.
want to read it. It sounds like a fun book.
you should for sure.
Okay, you'll have to let me borrow it.
Yeah. Anyways.
We also have a few in progresses.
Yeah, we do.
I have one of my own and then one we're reading together.
I have 2 of my own to talk about.
Okay. Well, what are you currently reading, Sarah?
Well, I'm going to start with, I started listening to The Maidens by Alex Michaelides.
Okay.
And it is a psychological thriller that also ties in Greek mythology. I'm on a Greek
Sick.
mythology kick.
I was just on one. You took over.
Yeah. But I DNF'd it because I was having a really hard time paying attention to the audiobook.
Yeah.
I got like 20% through and had no idea what was happening.
That's fair.
So I put it down because I want to read the physical book.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's just one that I think I would do better with actually reading.
That makes sense. I guess it's sort of related. I DNF'd Song of Ice and Fire by George R.R. Martin.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't get any further than 9%.
Okay.
Just because I was having trouble getting into it with knowing the story so well.
Yeah.
And
And a
it just-
36 or whatever hour
34.
audiobook is,
it's a big undertaking.
it is, especially when you're not into it, like you don't want to.
Yeah.
I did that with The Passage and I wish I would have quit reading
Yeah,
that. Like,
that's fair. But maybe I'll pick it up again one day and like read them or something. I don't
Yeah.
know. I just didn't want to do it anymore. So
That's fair.
yeah. So I guess I also had 2 technically. What's your next one?
I'm listening to The New Couple in 5B by Lisa Unger. It's also a thriller suspense, and I've listened to like 85% of it.
Well, shit. How you
So,
liking it?
It's pretty good. It's
Okay.
interesting.
I love that.
It's spooky. It's good vibes for the season.
Heck yeah, we love a spook.
What's your next one?
Well, Sarah, I started reading The Poppy War
I
by R.F. Huang. I am 236 pages into it, almost halfway,
Wow.
and I'm really very much enjoying it so
Well,
far. It's really good. I don't want to tell you anything. I do, but I'll wait till my review, I guess.
Okay.
But it's really fun. I'm enjoying it a lot, and it's kind of
Sweet.
unexpected. Like, I guess I didn't really know a ton about going in
Mm-hmm.
because I never do.
Yeah.
But there's aspects of it that I was not expecting to be included.
Okay.
And it's really cool so far.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, I'm excited for you.
Thank
I guess.
you. I know you're mad again. But other than that, we also started reading together. We got
Yeah.
81 pages through The River of Silver by S.A. Chakraborty.
Yeah, we did.
We're going
It's
to
like
start
a collection of short stories
about the
about
David.
David.
Yeah.
All of the characters.
I know. I love it so far.
Me too.
It's fun to get
pretty good.
other little snippets of their lives.
Yeah, I loved that there was like the story of Hatset and
Yeah.
that whole
Gaston.
story.
Gaston and Hatset. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that there was like prior to the trilogy stories.
Mhm.
It's been fun so far, but
Yeah.
we were going to start Crescent City, and then we're like, well, we might as well wrap up the Chakraborty vibe
Yeah.
first. So I'm sure we'll finish it this week,
Yeah.
perhaps. But yeah, that's been fun.
Yeah, it has. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, me too.
Heck yeah, dude.
But what are you guys reading this week?
Yeah.
What'd you read?
Yeah.
What's up?
Yeah, if you have read or finished any of the books that we talked about today, you gotta let us know how you feel.
Sure
/
do.
felt.
Yeah, and give us small reviews if you finished any books,
Yeah.
and tell us what you're currently reading.
Yeah.
Other than that,
So,
though, thanks for hanging out with us for a minute,
Yeah.
and I hope you have a great week.
I hope it's a good one.
Yeah.
And happy freaking reading.
reading.
Okay, bye.